Well, then let's go to your programs and we'll ask other what they're working on.
Okay. Um, so the normal non-QM programs would be your bank statement loans, 1099 loans. So for the 1099 program, we take 90% of their 1099 income without tax returns. So that's perfect for your real estate agent, right? Um, they make a lot of money, they write off a lot of things.
Yeah.
I've closed a lot of real estate agent loans here in the Bay Area, and they couldn't believe it. Like, you're gonna give me 90% of my income? We go, yes, because it's being reported to the IRS. In reality, it's just mileage.
So you
right?
just need 2 years 1099s?
2 years, 1 year or 2 years 1099s plus their year to date.
Okay, and so which income you're going to be using, because it's critically important.
We will use 1 year plus year to date or 2 years plus year to date. So you have an option.
So let's say I have a real estate agent who has good income this year in particular. So you are going to be averaging, you're going to be adding, which number you're going to be adding, because he probably for this year will have profit and loss, right? This is what you need?
We don't need a profit and loss.
So which document you need for that, for this year, for 2025?
A year to date printout from their broker.
Oh, I see it. Perfect,
Yes.
perfect.
Yes,
So now it's showing how much you closed and how much money you made.
correct.
And you will average it between last year and this year.
Yes,
And then you subscribe 10% from that?
yes.
Okay, perfect. I think this is biggie.
About interest rate, is it something percentage of rate?
Right now, if you know what happened in early April, non-QM rates went up between 3/4 to about 1.25 point in rate, not in fee. And I remember it because it's April 7 and April 8. When I had my brokers, I told them the spread between conventional loans and non-QM loans was about 0.5 point. That's very rare. Your conventional loans were 6.25, 6%. Non-QM rates were at 6.5, 6.75. So I said, if you're submitting a loan to me, you need to lock it. And said, oh, no, we're gonna wait. What happened?
Okay.
Rates went up. So yeah, rates right now, you can still get rates in the 6s if you have a higher credit score and a low LTV. But I would say the average for non-QM rates is like low 7s right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is we have 7.5, which is I would
Correct.
say probably typical for especially with it's investment property. It's
correct.
and you have borrowers paid and whatever numbers will work.
Correct.
Okay.
So going back to the
This is
1099,
good one. I like it.
Yeah, the
Like it.
1099 is not just for real estate agents. So if you have someone who's an independent contractor or commission only borrower, same rule applies. Now you have to remember the 1099 has to be paid to them directly, to their social security number. If they created a company,
Yes.
let's say an LLC or a corporation, we would have to go the bank statement route because we will not be able to pull wage or 1099 transcripts from the IRS.
Okay, let's explore this possibility. So let's say somebody putting money in a bank, self-employed, putting money in a bank. How many months do you need,
Minimum 12 months.
including this year?
Yes.
And now it's just 12 months back from, let's say we are May or April to
Correct.
April, then that's what I have to show. And then what percentage were you going to use from that amount?
It depends on the type of business. So we have a default 50% expense factor if your borrower has a location and employees. So it would be a restaurant, a nail salon, laundromat. As long as they have a place where they're paying rent, it's automatic 50%. But we also have the 20% expense factor. Let's say I'm self-employed, I'm a software developer, I work from home, I have no employees,
Yes.
I don't drive around, my expense factor would be 20%.
I see, okay.
Okay?
And is it somebody should prove that your expense factor is 20% like CPA, or it's like automatically?
It's automatic. It's automatic. We will apply it when we do the bank statement analysis prior to submission. Now, let's say you have someone who we're applying, let's say they're a reseller, right? They sell on Amazon. we automatically apply an expense factor of 50% because they're buying and they're selling. But if you get me a CPA letter stating, you know what, their expense factor is only 25% or 30%, then we will adjust it.
How about the truck driver? I have a lot of people who's a truck driver. So is it 50% or 20? They don't have office. They just only have a.
They have an office.
Huh?
They have a cabin.
Are they paid by another company or are they self-employed where they own the trucking business?
Depends.
Okay.
Some of them it's
So
different.
you just check what they have and show it to Blanche, and she'll tell you what's
Yes.
possible.
Yes.
Yeah,
So yeah, 1099, very popular.
yeah.
Very, very popular. We also have the profit and loss only program or the P&L program. So if your tax returns have failed and your bank statements are commingled with other, deposits, your last resort would be your P&L program.
And for how long?
You could do 12 or 24 months P&L. Okay.